Hello, this is Angela from Natural Living Alchemy. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be sharing an herbal recipe, and we're going to be making something called a garlic oxymel. And you can use this to help support your immune system, as garlic has been shown to not only help combat inflammation, it can also reduce the risk of catching a cold, as well as shortening the duration of any cold that you may catch. Now, I just want you to keep in mind, I'm not a doctor. None of what is on this channel is considered medical advice. It's here for education and entertainment purposes only. And it's up to you to talk to your healthcare professionals before following anything that I say. Now, before we get into the information in today's video, I just want to invite you to check the description box below this video. And in there, you're going to find a link to the full written blog article that does go into far greater detail regarding oxymel, as well as our ingredients that we're going to be using today. So what is an oxymel? Well, an oxymel is derived from the Greek word oxymeli, which translates into acid and honey. And these have been in use since about 400 BCE. Now, oxymels are a great herbal medicine to use if you're needing to take something that is more pungent in nature, such as cayenne, lobelia, or like we're going to be using, garlic. Now, to use an oxymel, you would either gargle it or ingest it. And after I show you how to make it, I will definitely be going over the dosage recommendations for this particular oxymel. So our very first herbal ally that is going to be going into this oxymel is garlic. Now, let's just go over the herbal actions and the bodily affinities of garlic. So it does have a cardiovascular system affinity, and it has been used in the treatment of high blood pressure as well as to improve the overall cardiovascular health. Garlic helps increase the speed that red blood cells travel, which can help bring oxygen and nutrients to the cells, as well as helping and remove waste products. Garlic has a digestive system affinity, and it has been used for a multitude of digestive ailments, as well as the ability to modulate the gut microbiome. It does so by enhancing the beneficial gut bacteria, Lactobacillus strain of bacteria. Garlic has antiparasitic and antifungal actions, and it may also show improvement on candida overgrowth. Garlic has a respiratory system affinity, and it is very therapeutic to the lungs, as well as helping to increase arterial oxygen levels. Now, it is an herb that you might want to consider grabbing for the treatment of chronic respiratory disease and lung infection. Garlic also has some antioxidant properties, helping to improve cellular function. And lastly, garlic has diuretic and antiseptic properties, helping in cases of rheumatism, gout, arthritis, as well as edema. Now, the energetics of garlic is warming, drying, and stimulating. And there are a couple different contraindications or precautions that you might want to take when deciding if you want to reach for garlic or not. So I would suggest avoiding garlic 10 days prior to surgical operations, because there have been some reports of prolonged or increased bleeding. It may also interact with different blood thinning or blood pressure lowering medications, so be sure to talk to your healthcare practitioners before taking garlic if you are on blood thinning or blood pressure medication. And lastly, I would suggest using some caution if you are somebody who is maybe hot or a dry bodily constitution, or if you're somebody who is experiencing active inflammation. Now, the ruling planet of garlic is Mars. Our next herbal ally that is going to go in our oxymel is caraway seeds. Now, our herbal actions here. So we have a bodily affinity for the digestive system. So caraway seeds hold carminative properties, which means that they can help stimulate digestive enzymes, as well as helping to reduce gas and bloating and indigestion. And it can also help improve overall digestion. Traditionally, caraway seeds have been helped to ease digestive upset after meals, as well as being an ingredient in gripe water used for colicky infants. Caraway seeds have a respiratory system affinity and have been used as a lung tonic. They also hold inflammation modulating properties as well as expectorant properties, just helping to soothe the airways. And those inflammation modulating properties can help reduce inflammation experienced with arthritic conditions. Caraway seeds hold antimicrobial properties as well, and they can help the body fight off infection, especially if that infection is in the digestive tract. Caraway seeds have spasmolytic properties, specifically for the GI tract, which means it might be helpful for somebody experiencing IBS symptoms. And lastly, caraway seeds are antioxidant rich, helping to protect the body from oxidative stress as well as reducing the risk of chronic disease. Now, the energetics of caraway seeds, they are warming and they are relaxing. Some contraindications or precautions would be avoiding caraway seeds if you have gastritis or stomach ulcers in an acute state, as the caraway seeds might actually aggravate it even more. You're going to want to avoid this if you are pregnant, as it does hold some emmenagogue effects, and it also may increase the absorption of iron, which this is going to depend on if you are maybe in a bit of an iron deficiency or you have excess amounts of iron. This could either be a benefit or a detriment to your health. So you just want to know kind of where you're sitting at with your iron levels if caraway seeds is something that you would want to add into your healthcare regimen. And lastly, our ruling planet here is Mercury. And finally, we are going to be using fennel seeds. Now, our herbal actions here. So we have some carminative properties, helping with tension specifically in the lower bowels. And this is also another ingredient that's commonly found in grape water. Fennel seeds have some spasmolytic properties, helping to address tension in the digestive tract as well as in the lungs. Now, they also have a nervous system affinity, helping to address nervous tension created specifically by muscular spasm. It can help relieve spasms specifically in the digestive tract, the lungs, as well as in the womb. And it can be used to help tonify the brain and the nervous system. Fennel seeds also hold urinary tract affinities, and they can be used to treat cystitis as well as difficult or burning urination. And lastly, fennel seeds also are specifically indicated for inguinal hernias as well as lower abdominal pain. So our energetics here are warming, drying, and tonifying. Our precautions or contraindications, you would want to avoid it in pregnancy due to those emmenagogue effects. And lastly, our ruling planet here is Mercury. So to make our garlic oxymel, you're just going to need a couple pieces of equipment. You're going to need either a stove or a hot plate because we're going to have to apply some heat to this. And so you will also need a pot. We'll need an herb grinder or a mortar and pestle, depending on which one you have. A garlic press to press the garlic. A spoon just to kind of stir everything together. You're going to need a strainer to strain everything once it's been cooking for a little bit. And then you're just going to need a bottle or a jar for storage. So you are going to need 8 ounces of apple cider vinegar. So we're just going to go ahead and throw that right into our pot. Now, for your apple cider vinegar, you do want to make sure you are using a raw apple cider vinegar, okay? And particularly one that is with the mother. So to our apple cider vinegar, we're going to add our seeds first. And you're just going to want to crush these up lightly. So that was 1/4 ounce of the caraway seeds, and now we're going to do 1/4 ounce of our fennel seeds. And then to that, you are going to add 1.5 ounces of freshly pressed garlic. So once you have everything in your pot, we're just going to give it just a little stir. And then we're going to take this over to the stove and we are going to bring it up to a boil. We're going to turn it down and then just allow it to simmer for 15 minutes. So once everything has been simmering nicely for 15 minutes, it is time to turn off the stove and remove it from the heat. And we are just going to let all of this sit together until our mixture is cooled off, and then it is time to strain. Now that everything has cooled off nicely, our pot is cool to the touch, it is time to strain the seeds and the garlic out of our apple cider vinegar. So I like to just use just a measuring cup and just a small metal strainer. So once you have everything strained out, you are just going to pour the vinegar back in, and then you are back into your pot, and then you are going to add 10 ounces of raw honey. And then once we add this to our pot, we are just going to go back to the stove and we are just going to put it on low until the mixture thickens up and is the consistency of a syrup. Okay, so now we have let it simmer. It got a little bit thicker and it is time to put in our jar. So I like to just use a canning funnel. Now I am out of small glass bottles, so I am just going to be putting it in a jar. Whatever you have is perfect. And there you have it. Here is your Oxymel. So how you will take it is you want to take a small portion of it and just dilute it in some water, and you're going to use that as a gargle. And you're also going to take 2 tablespoons and you're going to take it daily internally. Okay? So you can this Oxymel will have a shelf life of 6 months when stored in the refrigerator. I highly doubt it'll last you that long though. But another way that you could use it, apart from just a daily immune system support as a gargle and then with the 2 tablespoons internally, is you could actually take this and use it as for like a salad dressing vinaigrette, and it would just replace vinegar, okay, if you were making your own vinaigrettes at home. And there you have it. That is how simple it is to make a garlic Oxymel. So comment down below and just let me know, how do you like to give your immune system a boost? Would you try this Oxymel? And if you did, how did it work for you? I would love to hear about it. And don't forget to hit the like button if you've liked this video, and maybe share it with someone else who you might think enjoy it. Consider subscribing to the channel so that we can spend more time together and that you don't miss future videos. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram, so be sure to connect with me over there as well. But I just want to say thanks for stopping by today, and I'll see you next time.